Melcifer has recovered from his injuries, but requires just a little more life force to continue his plans. So Hannibal rounds up the faithful hunters to pay their respect and life taxes to their liege. With his vitality restored, Melcifer raises more soldiers to prepare for his assault on Pine Spur. He also drains more life from Hannibal to create and bind a poltergeist to the executioner's axe. With his ranks swelled, he decides to go on the warpath and finally pay back the Corville family for their insults. He raises 2 more ghouls from scouts before he reaches the enemy keep. Merciful Melcifer tries to negotiate and offers the knight a peaceful outcome, but she refuses. Melcifer turns his attention to the townsfolk, much to the knight's horror, so she nobly charges with her knights to save the commoners. The charge may be brave, but futile, and soon the knights are dragged to Melcifer. But one breaks free and lands a brutal blow on a surprised Melcifer. When Melcifer regains consciousness, he finds himself still on the battlefield, his loyal guards still around him. He decides to withdraw his forces temporarily while he rallies his thoughts, reassessing the situation, and returns to Winter's Reach. While recovering, he sends Lilith to collect bat hearts for nefarious purposes and finds that Norman the carpenter has made him a throne. Melcifer also takes more donations from his people to speed up his recovery process. The winter gods have also blessed him with more powerful abilities that he is in no doubt eager to test out on his summer-born enemies. How soon can Melcifer raise a nightmare? Will Necrograph restore his blacksmith? Should Melcifer get a bandolier for his bat shots? Let's find out now on Dicing with Death.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Dicing with Death. Ryan, how are you doing today?
Good morning. I'm doing well.
Excellent.
How are you?
I am refreshed, relaxed, ready for war, or whatever we're doing.
Necromancy.
Mm-hmm.
As usual, evil awaits here on Dicing with Death. Got any chit-chat or updates before we jump into this campaign?
I would like to wish my wife a happy 30th birthday. It is coming up.
Are we counting down?
3 days? 4 days? Something like that. Pretty soon. 4 days from now.
3 days countdown.
Yep. That's it. That's all my updates. Happy birthday, Lauren. Mm-hmm.
I'm looking in Twitch chat and they're saying it's your birthday.
Well, today is my birthday and I'm 48 years old today, but my wife's birthday is in 4 days and it'll be great.
And she's a much younger woman.
She is a much younger woman. Yes, certainly. But you know, what can I say? Sometimes I rob cradles, sometimes cradles rob me.
That's so it goes.
So it goes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Well.
Where did we... we just heard this wonderful recap. There's a small error in it that I feel compelled to correct. Melcifer derives his powers from his own abilities.
Bandolier. From his bandolier. Right?
Melcifer is a necromancer who works very hard to gain these powers, and it would be unfair to, say that he gets them from some false, fake winter gods which don't exist. These are his own powers made through self-discovery. That's the only thing.
These necromantic powers come from the soul, and
there we go. See, if anything, they come from Falumbra.
Maybe. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
In any case, I wholeheartedly agree that I need a bandolier for these pickled bat hearts.
Mm-hmm.
Easy access.
Mm-hmm.
And some knives. Some of which need to be organic, I think, so that they can be spiritual weapons. I think so. I've been sitting on a weapon proficiency for a while, and I think it should be like a dagger knife thing.
That sounds really applicable.
Right. I've had this knife in my boot for the entire campaign, and I think I just upgraded to a steel one. So it's time. Dagger knife one is that one proficiency slot?
Yes, sir.
Cool. I think I have a spare non-weapon too, but we'll think about that one. And lords can just commission bandoliers, right? That's just a thing that I can
That's
have.
just a thing. You're good.
Cool. So we need to get some bone knives or something like that. That would be nice to have at some point. Let's see. Are we here at the estate? Where exactly did we leave off? Right, there was a unnecessary escalation of violence. At whatever that noble estate was to the east.
Right.
And we retreated. And let me find my token, maybe? Check in on where my HP is. Nope. There I am. Token says here I am at 16. So I think I'm sitting all right. I think we drank HP from something. Back here at the estate, atop this new handcrafted throne of skulls. How many skulls were on it? Was it just 2? Was it just one for each hand rest?
And there was one behind each shoulder on like the little pointy points that come up back. You know, like chairs that have the pointy things behind you, but skulls on them.
It's a little brazen even for Malsifer, but hey. Skull throne.
What are you gonna do?
It
Not
really,
take the skull throne?
It just really ties the room together.
It sort of does.
So we want more HP, and we definitely need more years. Like, despite all the death, there weren't very many sacrifices last time.
Never enough sacrifices.
But I think we ought to sit back at least a little while, heal up, check on the town. We've got the hunters are out on patrol as usual. The army is mobilized, probably sitting out in the orchard or on the lawn or something. The undead horde.
Probably.
And I think we got some level 7 abilities to look at. Maybe even some level 6 abilities. Okay, so I remember the plan. I remember what I was going to do with these pickled bat hearts.
You do?
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to happen right now, but we were changing our tactics. Malsifer was going to try a slightly different approach. Because the whole invade your neighbors with your undead army and demand sacrifices, that
It didn't work.
didn't it? I mean, I think we spooked them, right? For generations, there will be ghost stories about Winter's army showing up at the doors of the keep and demanding blood sacrifices. And,
Absolutely.
A couple of years, maybe they'll forget the details. They'll think it's just a ghost story.
You know, and maybe just because it didn't work once doesn't mean it won't work another time.
Yeah, we've got other.
What's the saying? If at first you don't succeed, try again. Right?
Yes. And you know, what's really insane is doing that.
Keep trying and
Same
getting.
way.
Yeah. So you got to try different ways.
And this character here is chaotic. I'm just role-playing my character.
right? It's not. It's fine. He might be a little insane.
All right.
Did Malcifer really just get a skull throne? Or did he actually order its construction and he just doesn't remember? How mad is he?
All right. Necrograph takes 5 years, but I do have access to that. So we're going to do that right away. That's day one. Give the blacksmith back his arm so he can fix this uncomfortable breastplate.
Oh, he needs a new arm, definitely. Where are you going to get a new arm for him?
Oh, we got plenty of new arms. Yeah, I got any hands lying around? We'll go look. Well, that's yeah.
I'm sure there's a hand somewhere. Let's take a look. What does...
Oh, and I can now... I think that if I get a creature, or I guess it doesn't have to be willing, does it? To be sacrificed instead of the brute force way I've been collecting souls in the past.
Mm-hmm. Right. Necrograph takes 5 years to cast. So that's...
I'm sorry, I'm looking at Soul Siphon. But,
right.
yeah.
So if you cast it normally, you need a person with 50 years, drain their life and cast it. But if you Soul Siphon, you get 2 spiritual points for every 10 years instead of 1 for every 10 years. So you'd only need someone with 25 years left on their life.
Oh, totally. Okay, so we need to send a message to the Corvals. Or maybe I can go personally and collect. We got time. I think we're gonna send it. I'm gonna have Rosegrove send a message to the Corvals.
Mm-hmm.
So Malcifer's sitting in his study, staring at this jar of bat hearts.
Mm-hmm.
Musing over it, and then he has the epiphany to fund or what? Not even fund. It's right. It's justice, right? So to repay the blacksmith for chopping off his arm, they now are gonna owe. There's gonna be 50 years of life left. That's fine. Anyone any young person should be enough, or several. Mm-hmm. You can do several adding up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah. Pay. Yeah.
They're gonna owe you 50 years.
Yeah. Or to answer for the crimes of Lord Corval, the people of his estate. Oh, yeah. I'm trying. Let me pull up my. I got this guy's name on the spreadsheet. He's not a noble. He doesn't really matter. Maybe I have to declare it in his name.
Yeah, because he definitely doesn't have any rights.
Says who?
Says the law.
I think all of the people of Winter's Reach being followers of the old gods are
what?
Have noble blood. Or at least that's the delusion we operate under.
The nice delusion.
Right, and I think it helps keep the people motivated if they think that they have rights.
Yeah, I mean, who am I to tell you how to run your village? If you want to give your individual people rights... Well,
you don't have to give it to them, you just
tell them they have them. Okay. There we go, I can get behind that thinking. Smith.
Ex-Smith, I have him marked Jason, okay.
Ever remember to vote Malcifer for president 2020? It's coming up. He'll give you rights.
I love that Cthulhu like bumper sticker or whatever art that's got the greater of all evils or something like that. Got the vote Cthulhu. Yeah.
Pick the greater of all evils.
Choose the greater of all evils. Sorry. Some otherworldly multi-eyed tentacle monster. All right. I think I'll just say Winter. Yeah. my blacksmith, or Winter's Reach's blacksmith. Draft the letter, sign it, and seal it. And how do we deliver? I'll send something undead. Right? I'll send a ghost. Ghost messenger seems good. I can speak through a ghost, right?
You can speak through a ghost.
That's how we deliver messages. Yeah, I don't even need a. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. We don't
so
have,
what sort of ghost do you have?
Got a poltergeist that's got to stay near the executioner's axe, isn't it? And then I've got, there's the old housekeeper or whatever her name, right? The spirit of, I don't even remember her name. Okay, so there's a phantom on the porch or in the yard, but those aren't very useful.
No, they can't. Wait, phantasm or phantom? Hold on, shit, I'm forgetting all my...
Phantom. Okay, I have one phantom, which I think was the old servant.
Right. Yeah, the phantom you can't control. It just does its thing. It just relives its death.
So the phantom was the haunt. Okay, the sightings in the lawn and the yeah.
You have a specter and a poltergeist. And the poltergeist is bound to your weapon, but the specter ain't. And if you...
I think I don't even have the specter. I think I just didn't consider the specter my own.
Yeah, I think you dominated it at one point.
Yeah, I did. I bossed it around, and I used it to spy. To scout.
Yeah.
But I can speak through it. You can't, like, use your weapons at a distance, or not your weapon, your necromancy at a distance, right? You can't cast spells through undead.
I don't believe you can. There might be eventually some spells that you can, but at this point I don't think you have any.
Okay, spells. Lesser possession, is that what lets you control? Something else? Wasn't that a level 1 ability? Or is it not level 3?
I might have moved some things around. I think it might have been a level 1 and it's now level 3. Yeah.
Okay, is the fall limb control, blah blah blah.
Also clairvoyance, right? That's what you need to do to speak through them?
I thought it was corpse whisper.
Oh, corpse whisper's also... Sorry, yes. Clairvoyance is to see through them. Corpse whisper is to speak through them.
Yeah, but if you're possessing something, you can already see through it.
Correct, right? Yes.
Okay.
One casting of the spell to prepare a body for reception, and one casting to begin to speak through them. Yeah, so you cast Corpse Whisper once to, like, imbue your shade, your specter with the ability to whisper, and then you cast again to whisper.
Yeah, so what happens is we summon Lord Rosegrove to write this letter, and then realize we got the specter lying around, so I'm just like, Lord Rosegrove, where's the, have you seen that specter that haunts the house? The old servant. What's her name? He might know who she is, right?
Yeah.
The Rosegroves have been the groundskeepers here for as long as Winter's Reach has been,
of course,
on the coast.
What is? I don't think we've given this. I don't think I've told you the Spectre's name yet.
We definitely have. Shit. Yeah, this would have been like Rose or Clarice. No, Clarice was the aunt. It was Clarice's. Doesn't matter. If Rosegrove doesn't remember, or maybe. In any case, has he seen her? He knows who I'm talking about.
He knows who you're talking about.
Which tower of the estate is it haunting right now?
Your grandfather's room, my lord.
And so while Mousefur is resting, he will go lay in Grandpappy's old bed and possess this specter. Send it out on a message. And they're going to have to repay me for these years that I'm spending, too.
Ugh.
There's interest. So we're taking 5 Possession takes 1. We need way more than that, yeah. Interest is racking up quickly on these souls. So let's get them their notice.
Send out the bills in a timely manner so people can get...
in a timely manner. So Malsifer will lay in Granddad's old bed.
It's there. It's dusty. You lay down in it, and you know there's like a small aura of dust that kind of builds up around you. And
taking command of the specter, the spectral servant. You there? Come here.
It does so.
In bed, Malsifer reaches out a hand and takes possession of the servant. That takes 2 years.
Lesser possession takes 1.
Okay, and then it'll be 2
corpse
to whisper.
Yeah. And 1 HP to whisper as well.
Oh, really? I'm trying to heal here. Jeez. Can't deliver a note, can it? Like it can't interact with the physical world at all?
I don't think so. I think it has 0 world interaction.
Okay.
Sure.
So off she goes through the window. Through the window. She can't go through wood, right? But she could go through glass and metal.
Not glass.
Oh, is it living versus non-living?
Right. She can go through living or formerly living things. So not stone or glass, but she can go right through wood or earth or earth to a certain extent.
Earth we said was not, right?
Not maybe, yeah. Maybe it can dip into the grass. I don't know. I don't understand Earth. I don't really know what it is. It's weird.
We argued about this last time, and I think you were on the other side of that.
Well, I'm nothing if flexible in my beliefs.
Week to week.
Yeah, that's really why I don't like writing down my rules. Is because I like to change my mind.
All right. So, off we go. Through the wall, running into the woods, north and east to the Corval estate.
Let's take a look at our map then. Bring us over here. Zoom in. Let me see if I can't get you a specter or a shade. So that way we know where you are going. Oh, sweet. I don't even remember getting this token. God. Alright, Malsifer, you should be able to control that now.
Sweet. And the Corvals were this one way up here, but I think it's gonna take most of a night to get out there. Shades moving right 12.
But they are not bothered by terrain at all, so they can go 24 miles in 10 hours. No questions asked. So it'll take them about 10 hours to get there.
Okay.
You send it out. You must send it out during the night, right? Because direct sunlight harms it. Although it's a shady forest, it could probably make its way through during daylight.
I think it makes its journey at night, and so probably just before dawn is when it will be delivering its message to probably the Lord of the Corval, whoever seems to be in charge there.
Lord Corval, Lady Corval.
In the hours before dawn, the shade slips through. Probably is the town walled? Do I see? First off, what do we see on the way there? Nothing. Just the usual Blumwood.
There, Blumwood, and then you will definitely spot some scouts that have been positioned on key trails on horseback.
Where is this? Once I've entered Corval land, so starting here is when.
Sure. I mean, it's difficult, with the Spectre, you can't necessarily tell when you cross the border into their lands. It's not well defined.
The whole journey kind of blurs, but
yeah. But at some point,
I think that's where I'm drawing the border in my mind, at least now, right? The
where
line on the map would be, I think, would be where, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, maybe we're lost, but at least in my interpretation.
Sure enough,
the riders on horseback.
2 riders on horseback. They don't notice the ghost, which is mostly transparent, and can see their outline of warmth in the dark, in the night. So that's the first thing you spot: the 2 riders.
I think because Corpse Whisper is going to take 2 years each use. Is that for each? Is that how long does that?
It lasts for like a conversation,
Yeah. And an HP, yeah. So we're only delivering the message once. So we're gonna slip right past these scouts, noting their location, but continuing on to the keep.
You move past the scouts, and it feels like an equal amount of time passes between leaving the estate and meeting the scouts, and leaving the scouts and meeting the estate, because it's all this like timeless blur of movement. But you do set your eyes upon the quiet, sleepy little village. Smoke rises from all the chimneys. There are large bonfires lit all throughout the town. Barricades have been hastily erected with pointy spears and palisades sticking out at you in all directions. There is a small keep. It looks like it was maybe just a fancy manor house, but someone has thrown up like a palisade wall around it hastily. There are banners of no less than 3 companies situated in this estate that you can see from where you are.
The Corval estate.
Yeah.
So can we move those tokens? Is that what you're telling me? Or at least, or maybe perhaps there's 3 more.
Yeah, you recognize them as different companies than the ones surrounding the Pine Spur.
I feel like that would be a heraldry check that I don't have, but I'll take your generous donation of information.
Well, you might not know which banners mean what, but
different colors.
At Pine Spur, it was like this banner had 3 spears on it. This one had like a flaming sword. This one had a moon, and this is like a fish and a whip and some wheat or something. You have no idea who operates these, but they are definitely different banners.
But more Eridonian houses. Eridonian soldiers.
How would you know?
Eridonian souls.
That's a heraldry check.
All right. Ignoring this, the spectral servant. I'm trying to think how stealthy we would want to be. Shades can't be harmed, right? Barring like magic or like a cleric banishing them, or
magic weapons, magic spells, maybe silver weapons could strike them. I don't think it's been noted in their stat block.
Okay,
but they're simple creatures, so I think maybe a silver weapon.
So I think the shade. I mean, it's dark, and the only lights are these flickering bonfires. So maybe roll some kind of average perception check to see if it's spotted. I don't think I'm moving it in a particularly stealthy way, so I'll leave it up to chance.
Nope. Yeah. The specter passes through the fields and approaches the village without being spotted.
And there's a keep somewhere, right? Or a manor?
There's a manor house.
Walls are not allowed on the island, correct?
No walls were allowed on the capital.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's like this hastily erected, still being built palisade wall going around this manor house, which is situated like right next to the town, or the village, I should say, and on a slight artificial hill. So it goes up maybe like, the hill's maybe 15 feet high, and that's where the manor house is. So it has just enough height to look over the village. But rather than being pulled away from it, it's right adjacent to it in this one.
And sliding from shadow to shadow through the town.
You can
His
easily
servant approaches the manor. Would you
He
call
makes
it a
more
keep? Is it
checks.
defensible, or is it more of just a...
It's becoming defensible as they build this palisade, but once you get within the walls, you'll see that it's like a stone building with like nice glass windows that are, or what do you call it? Nice stained glass windows on ground level that someone could easily break through. And
Sure, but a specter can't go through them. Spectre will have to go through the front door.
you will have to walk through the front door. Yeah. The town you pass through without a problem. Not a single soul spots the specter. You can go up towards that hill, and I think when you're coming up the hill, you will see a set of guards on the palisade wall holding with torches like stuck in sconces at the base of the wall where the door is. If you approach, you will definitely be in good light at the base of the palisade wall.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I think the front door guards have probably better than average chance of spotting a spectral servant marching up the trail and clipping right through the front door of the keep.
The moment they see you, one of them starts shouting and yelling. One of them picks up a cowbell and starts ringing it back and forth. The guy who's not ringing the cowbell hurls a spear at the specter. It's a good hit, and it passes right through you, doing absolutely nothing. You make it up the hill, through the palisade wall. Another spear from the cowbeller.
Is it a metal steel spear point?
It is a metal spear point.
Okay.
Not a steel, it's just a brass.
Metal, though.
Yeah.
So the specter couldn't clip through it normally, but it doesn't take damage from it, right? So it probably tears at the spectral essence and moves it, right? But it's
like the
small
specter
and
splits around it almost.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, okay. Because I can't pass through. It can't.
Right. Right, but in the ethereal plane, hard defined boundaries are a little bit fuzzy, so even like a metal point, it's like the first 2 inches of it are soft. So a small thing of metal doesn't really stop you.
Yeah.
You know?
No damage.
No damage.
Does another spear come?
Another spear comes once you're on the other side of the wall, and it just hits the ground at your feet, passing right through you.
Okay, we go right through the wooden door, gate, whatever it is.
By now, lights are coming on.
Up towards the master's chambers.
You can hear shouts in the room. People start filing out. A knight charges at you with a steel sword, passing right through you. This is a large manor. Why don't you give me what sort of check to know where to go? Yeah. An intelligence check to understand the layout of a manor house well enough to know where a bedroom would be?
Maybe intelligence or wisdom.
Yeah, let's do wisdom. Willpower. I like that. That sounds fun.
23 would be a pass, so I think I can reason where you would put the It's probably most likely going to be upstairs. Well, unless there's something special about like orderly layouts here, and it's easier to throw your shit out the first floor than the top.
You recognize that they're probably on the second floor here. With this style of estate, it looks like the ground floor is mostly for public use, because this is like the house of the Lord and Lady, but it's also the like main governmental office.
And they're probably hosting several military officers and knights or whatever.
Right. So you make your way up
right through me, and we head up to the second floor, like back of the house.
Hot on your heels.
The Lord rushing out of his bedchambers to see what's going on, or have they bunkered him down behind more swordsmen?
Well, hot on your heels comes that one knight who was chasing after you before, along with a couple of poorly dressed spearmen who are just like waking up and grabbing whatever's available. The spearmen kind of hang back as the knight chases after you, swinging over and over again, but each blow slicing right through you, doing nothing. Until you find yourself at the top of the stairs, looking down a hallway where 2 other knights are like still strapping on breastplates with squires next to them, trying to get everything done. They see you as you come into the well-illuminated hallway and hastily shove their squires to the side, grabbing weapons and standing behind or in front of a door that you would reason is the Lord or Lady's chamber.
And the door is wooden?
The door is wooden. No one has the money for metal doors.
Yeah. House Winter's spectral servant just pushes through the men and right through the wooden door. They can make probably opportunity attacks, but I'm guessing none of them have magic items or holy symbols.
Or silver items, no.
Or silvered blades. And I don't think just this is old school, right? Just plating them in silver won't do no good.
Correct.
Unless some fancy wizard artificer has invented some new technology I'm not aware of. It's got to be silver to the core.
Got to be silver to the core.
So woof, 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 woof. The specter clips through the men and through the door into the bedchamber. What's the next room?
The next room is the bedchamber. And sure enough, in there, sort of sitting on the edge of a bed, holding a bejeweled weapon in his hands, is the young Lord Corval.
As soon as we're within, probably as soon as we clip through the door, we'll do our corpse whisper and talk, like stop just inside the door, just within conversation range of the Lord to deliver a message.
The young Lord Corval is maybe 20, 21 years old. He's about your age, I would guess, right? There's a woman next to him in bed.
Winter is ageless. How dare you?
There is a woman next to him in bed, holding a baby at her breast, terrified.
Oh, that would make a great sacrifice. But anyway, this servant here will deliver a message plainly. Does it speak in Malsifer's voice or in the Spectre's voice?
It probably speaks in Malsifer's voice, but the Spectre is only ever so slightly in the material plane, so it probably feels like a little drawn out, or maybe like a little echoey. You know how like in StarCraft the Protoss speak with sort of like 4 echoes laid on top of each other? Yeah. It probably has some sort of like distant, ghostly, echoey quality to it as well, that someone would have to make a charisma check to recognize it as your voice.
Yeah, but it's not the servant's. And the servant's mouth doesn't necessarily open to speak, or does it?
I think it probably does.
Yeah.
If you're whispering through it, I think its mouth will move at least slightly. It might not be in like coordination with your words. It might be like, animated characters just kind of go blah 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 with words over it. Same.
I am a servant of House Winter, and I bear a message. Justice must be served. Sacrifices must be paid. For the wrongs of Sir William or Corval. 50 soul must be repaid.
The door opens and the 2 knights from the hallway, one of them tries to shield bash you and just ends up in the room. The other one on the
and I think after delivering the message, this servant's going to clip back out through the room. Because it looked like that lord had a bejeweled sword that may or may not be magical. We don't want to risk this shade, so we're going to split.
So unless he tries.
I mean, if he tries to have a conversation, I'll listen. But it seemed like he was just gonna take the message and
no, he definitely has.
Here before he tries to stab me.
He's got words for you. He gets to his feet in his nightgown, holding his bejeweled sword still, but letting his knight stand in front of him, and says, 50 soul? What does that mean? What is 50 soul?
Send your sacrifices. it's by the year, right? So if I want 5 plus, so 10 years is 100 years of life. Yeah. 2 this month, this moon, sent to Winter's Reach.
And you'll spare us then.
The Spectre nods.
Give me a charisma check, Lord Winter. It's a pretty
Sorry, I
terrifying.
forgot my Protoss voice. Charisma 13. 15. No. Does not go well.
That is 1 better than your last charisma check to intimidate someone. Okay. So it's maybe not coming off super intimidating to normal
because
people.
I forgot my Protoss voice. Voice.
I've made some rolls over here. The Lord...
I forgot to greet him with Intaro Adun.
Intaro Adun, young Eridonian. The time has come for the Conclave to demand another sacrifice. Okay.
Right.
The
So,
knight surrounding in front of the young lord says something to the effect of like, "We'll never surrender to you. We'll never give our people up to a fell necromancer like yourself," and tries to hit you again. But it, the young lord behind him does not look quite as brave.
Willing or not, the sacrifices will be paid. Justice will be served. And I think the Spectre will just go. Either the message was received or it wasn't.
Right.
They'll send sacrifices or they'll send soldiers. Either way, we'll collect on the debt.
Excellent.
House Koibu will pay their sacrifices. And the Shade will need to retreat and go to ground. I think try and find, ideally it'd be like flee into the village and find an abandoned granary or something to hide from the sun. Or did we say parts of the Blumwood are thick enough that in the forest you can hide from the...
I think as long as you're careful and you avoid all big sunspots, there's enough shady routes that you could make it back. But you'll have to walk it yourself, you know. So that'll be another 10 hours.
Yeah. Okay. Is the Spectre stopped?
No one can stop the Spectre at this point in time.
Yeah. You're afraid to give me magic items?
What? No. We're just...
All right. We'll just raise some more. All right. The Spectre eventually returns. So it's probably a meandering path through the day as we go through the thick parts of the Blumwood.
Avoiding this.
Powering from the sunlight. Anywhere the light touches, it can't touch. So we're proceeding and maybe sometimes backtracking and having to circle around a little windy path through the day. But another 10 hours, or maybe a little more, we'll make it back to Malsifer's body. I lost a point of HP. So with any luck, someone noticed Malsifer in the wing of the house in this death-like trance and sent for Lilith to come and tend to our wounds. How did I get to 1 HP on this map? Oh, this was...
Well, it's been 20 hours by the time you return.
It's a different token.
Let's see. People know where you are because Lord Rosegrove, of course, let them know what was going on. And I think this isn't the first time that they found you in a trance before, right? Last time you did this,
I collapsed on in the parlor or something like that.
Right, and you woke up to worried people all around you.
Yeah, this time he went off to bed and laid in the old dusty bed. But I told Rosegrove I was going there.
Right.
I think there's a problem. He'll probably check on me at some point in the next 20 hours and be like, "Oh no, he's in a coma, or he's in one of his fits."
Yeah, you will.
I mean, the best case scenario is he sends for Lilith and I get the benefits of healing proficiency.
That's
worst case. I wake up with,
You arrive, or you
with.
when your specter comes back into Winter's Reach. Ooh, that last section is going to be problematic.
2 years for the 2 years for the Corpse Whisperer, bringing me to 69.8.
Yeah, so I think you're going to have to. The Spectre probably can't get to Winter's Reach, right? It's cleared. If it's daylight, the terrain around the building itself is impassable. And if you don't bring the Spectre back to your body, it dies.
And it can't really go through Earth.
So
so I think it does have to go to ground, and it will come back. Just
So you'll stay in this trance until nighttime, basically.
Yeah, if there's not a direct route. I mean, I was half expecting to have to go to ground in like an abandoned shack somewhere, outside of town, outside of Koibu. Whatever.
I think so. It's maybe around 20. Actually, if you did this 2 hours after nightfall, you only have to wait 2 more hours before. Yeah, it's fine. So some 22 hours after the ghost has been sent out, it comes back into the building, and it comes into the tower where there is a Lilith with a damp cloth, kind of, wiping off the sweat from your brow and keeping it cool. You see yourself as nice. You are comfortably tucked in. There's a bowl of hot soup on the table beside your bed. There's some, crackers and crumbs where Lilith had a meal or something.
Yeah. Have we fed HP from Lilith before?
Never.
Okay.
But you wake up with the Spectre and Lilith standing beside you.
Did I lose? When has healing been applied? Did I lose a point of HP for last night? Or do I gain one? Do I stay neutral? That was considered non-strenuous, right? So I should gain the 1 HP a day.
Correct.
Which goes to 2 HP or 3 as a probably 3 for a healer herbalist, but -1 for the Corpse Whisperer.
Sure.
Does it work like that?
Yeah, because she's still tending to your other wounds, and those are the ones that are healing, right? She's not healing the loss of HP from this spectral event. That'll have to heal naturally, I think. I don't know. But the other wounds that you have on your body, she's patching up and fixing. So you gain 3 from her and lose the 1 from the Corpse Whisperer. Yeah.
Good. Could she tend to me while I'm in a coma to keep up my rate of corpse whispering?
I think she can tend to your physical wounds, but not the ones that you have to expend.
Not the emotional wounds.
Yeah, not the Corpse Whisper wounds.
All right.
I think that's what makes sense.
All right. Then Malsifer comes to and rises.
She steps back and gives you a polite curtsy and head nod.
We'll need a good strong arm for Jason.
She is a little surprised that you go right to business and gets up and gives you another bow and says, I will find one for you.
The sturdiest corpse. Blacksmith's hand. It should be a zombie hand, right? It wouldn't be bones.
Did he just lose his hand, or did he lose his whole? I thought he lost his whole.
I thought it was.
Was it just his hand? It might be.
I thought it was just his hand, his dominant hand. Because it wasn't like he.
Well, I don't remember. It's probably in the wiki somewhere. Let's be honest.
I mean,
lost hand. Yeah, lost hand. Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Just a simple
right,
hand.
But it should be a zombie.
It will be a zombie hand once it's attached to him, regardless of its origin.
And so we'll make those preparations, but I think we need to wait till we have a sacrifice to be, the most sustainable possible, most eco-friendly necromancy would be to wait until there's a sacrifice and then funnel the souls from the sacrifice directly into the creation of the hand. So let's prep for that.
Yeah. Actually, this is a great point. Why don't we take our first break here?
Sure,
because you've done your whispering. And when we come back, we'll figure out the fallout of your night ride.
Mm-hmm.
And all this other stuff. So we'll see you on the other side of our break. Bye-bye.